What's up, everyone? How we doing? This is Dr. Trevor. Welcome back to Unprofessional. Today, I speak with Dr. Ken, the one and only. Well, there's probably a lot of other people like him, but he's the only one I know. And in this episode, we talk about the suicide hotline and people who are regulars at it. We talk about nurse practitioners and if they're the same as doctors. The answer may surprise you. Okay? We also talk about the bonus that healthcare workers are receiving. It does not include us. Who would have thought? We also talk about, Dr. Trevor and Dr. Ken take way too many edibles at a recent gathering between the two of them. And we have very uncomfortable time. We also discuss the New York subway shooting and how we were involved and how easy it is to make YouTube videos. And, of course, why Dr. Trevor harasses girls on the street. So enjoy the podcast. Thanks for coming back. Hope you guys are having a great week. And, yeah, you mean a lot to me. So, somebody cares about you. Somebody does. All right, let's take it away.
Okay, the geniuses will see us now.
I'm a pro.
He's very unprofessional.
Very unprofessional.
These are our newly arrived surgeons, Doctors Trowbridge and Greenbaum.
Doctor?
Doctor? Doctor? Doctor?
Doctor?
Doctor?
Doctor?
Doctor?
We're not doctors.
Are you sure they can handle this?
Oh, we can handle it. We're professionals.
You'll forgive us if we're not instilled with confidence.
Potentially unprofessional pieces of content.
Welcome,
I've seen voices
everyone.
before.
This is Unprofessional. We are two doctors who talk about liberty, life, and love, I guess. All
That's
three.
right. The 3 L's. We also talk about the 3 P's: perseverance, perspiration, and
Pussy.
prevalence. And pussy, yes. So welcome. I'm Dr. Trevor, and this is...
Dr. Ken.
So what's up, bro?
How's it been? It's been, for me, I guess I'll go first. It's been really
Well,
good, honestly.
I heard you've been the hot secretary at your dad's place
Yeah.
of business.
I got home, and as soon as
Do you
I
get
did...
sexually harassed at all?
all the time, dude. The
Damn.
crazies are always coming. No, the crazy thing that actually happens is so I'm my dad's secretary I'm filling in until next week. And like his secretary got sick or something and she's not feeling well. I don't know what she has, but she's out for a week. And my dad's like, take your time, whatever, like I can cover. So I've been covering, and dude, people call all the time. Like, it's so annoying. They're like, oh, I need to speak to the doctor. They're calling me like probably 2 times a day. Someone calls me.
And they just
they're
say
"I'm
like, "Oh, I feel bad. Like, should I come in?"
Dude, no, not even that. They're like, I'm suicidal. What should I do? And
Oh
my dad's
no, are
like-
you serious?
Yeah, the first time it was like kind of weird.
Okay,
I was
because
like, I don't know
what kind of office does your dad have?
He's a psychiatrist,
Okay, yeah.
so he deals with like, people with mental illness. And at first, I didn't know how to deal with it. I ran to my dad's room and like, yo, what do I do? Someone's like, and he's like, what's the name? And I was like, it's this. And he's like, don't worry about it. They call all the time.
I heard.
He's
So
like-
I've been reading this one book. It's called "The Never Split the Difference," and it's about an FBI interrogator guy, and he teaches you how to do it pretty much. But he started out as like a suicide hotline guy, and he says like 80% of the calls are from like these like 10 people who call all the time. And then like
They
the
know
other
what's needed the
20% are
most.
like very serious, but
Yeah. So the
Yeah,
first
that's
time my dad came and he like talked on the phone, he's like, hey, we've talked about this like many times. Like, if you're feeling suicidal, call 911. Go to the emergency department. I can't help you here if you're like actively suicidal. And like the guy never does it, and it's just so funny. But he's called me a few times in the past week. But it's the same thing every day, like
you want somebody to
people-
talk to.
yeah, basically. But a lot of times, like, people don't take their medication. That's what's going on, or like, especially with COVID, business is like booming for psychiatrists apparently. My sister was also saying that like the psych ward is always full, especially after COVID. So it's been pretty busy, but it's been good. Like I've been working out. It's also Ramadan, so I've been fasting. So my days just like wake up, don't eat anything, go to work, get home, go to the gym, and then like eat at like 8 p.m. But it's been good. Like the schedule has kind of sucked, but like I've been losing a ton of weight. I'm super energetic. Like I just feel really good. Yeah.
We had we took edibles, me and Dr. Ken, not too long ago, and I remember at that point I pointed at your gut. I don't even know if you remember this because you were very out. You were.
That's the only thing I remember.
And I pointed to your gut. I'm like, oh, looks like you got something popping out there.
And Anastasia was like, don't mention it.
Yeah. I'm like, oh no.
That's like,
I'm too high for this too.
I was teetering at that point, and that pushed me over the edge.
Okay, and here's the quick story. I mean, we bought fucking edibles. Almost said consumables, like I'm in a video game. And I popped one, and I'm like, oh wait, isn't 100 like a lot? And I have no tolerance for it. And then you're like, oh, you'll be fine. And then you eat one, you're like, you know what? I'm gonna have another one too. So you have 2 of them, but we're like an hour in. I'm like feeling it. You're feeling it. You're dying almost. like I'm like, oh, he's not gonna be okay.
Oh my
and
God.
then you're like, oh, I mean, just not bizarre behavior, but I'm like, oh, this is a man who's uncomfortable.
I was just spinning, bro.
Uncomfortable. Yeah, moving and then just not moving at all, and then just like lying on the ground, and then like gets up, goes to the bathroom, comes back. One of my highlights is Anastasia goes, so like do you need like a bucket or something? Do you need something? And you're like, and
I was good.
1 second later,
I
you're
was rock solid
puking into
until
your
that
hand.
second. Yeah. It just flipped, just like that.
You're puking into your hand.
I don't know, like, if you realize, but like, dude, the vomiting was just so forceful. Like, it felt like I got a punch in the gut. And like
really?
I was doing it in the bowl, and it was splashing out because it was so forceful, dude. I've never had that before.
It was like projectile type shit?
Yeah, dude. It felt like it.
What?
It was coming out so fast.
No way.
And, I think I told you, but like that whole night, I was like, man, I kept saying to myself, don't let them take you to the hospital. Don't let them take you to the hospital. But I was like, I fucking need to go to the hospital.
Yeah.
But I also was like, what are they going to do for me? I feel like we're all doctors.
Right.
So like they're going to do what we're doing, which is nothing, and just like give me fluids.
Right. If we thought there was something that would like, like genuinely help you, then we would have brought you. But there's what the fuck are they going to, they're going to give you
and
fluids.
It doesn't help that my insurance is like really fucking bad.
Is it?
My biggest concern was, it was like emergency insurance that only covers like things if it's like life or death. And my biggest thought was like, I'm gonna die tonight. I did all this fucking work. I just finished school and I'm gonna die. Yeah.
No way.
And I was like, this is how my parents are gonna find out. They're gonna be like, this guy overdosed on THC.
You really had those thoughts?
Yeah, dude. That's all I was thinking. So,
let's break it down for a moment. Can you?
What? I think
Can you overdose it? I don't think it's like even possible, right?
Yeah.
And I bet it was like some underlying like medical like feature then that like triggered it or some shit.
I'm not sure of the whole story, but I know one person has recorded of like dying from a THC overdose. They might have taken something else. I don't know, but
boy must have done
that's what I saw on the internet.
Amounts. So you took this one time. You are a doctor. You took this one instance of a time where someone might have died from THC overdose out of the millions, maybe billions of times people have used marijuana. And you assumed that this is happening to me.
The thing is, it makes you paranoid, right? So, like, I was telling myself only one person has ever died, so it's probably not happening. But then, like, the fear of death was, like, just overriding it. So, it was weird, man. The weed was, like, playing with my head. And then I haven't done it since. Like, it just the smell makes me nauseous right now. Like, all I can think about is, like, throwing up.
Damn, man.
Yeah. At least
Maybe
something good came out of it,
Yeah. Fuck, dude.
If they ever like random drug test me, I know I'm gonna be negative.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's good. Why would you get negative? Your dad would drug test you?
No, like at the hospital or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They know I'm not using.
Oh,
Man, most stressful night of my life, dude. And then
dude,
I
and
didn't
was
want to
like,
go to sleep.
You didn't?
No, you went to sleep, I think, like earlier
Yeah.
than me. And I
Okay.
didn't want to go to sleep because I was like, if I want to see that I'm getting better. Like, I don't want to go to
Oh.
sleep where I'm still like
Damn, you
peaked.
were fucking paranoid. You were not. Okay.
Yeah. I was like, I don't want to like die in my sleep, so I
When
need
I
to
was
make sure I'm
thinking-
getting better.
That's crazy. You actually thought, huh? I think even, I don't know. I would like to think that even in my very worst, most paranoid, most intense, like high, I feel so bad. I still think I'd be like, but I'm not gonna die. You know?
You need to
Or
take two
maybe
gummies,
not.
bro.
I don't know. I didn't say. Yeah, maybe. I'll take 2 gummies and I'll let you know how it goes.
200 milligrams, and the dose was insane. I think the highest I've had before was like 35 or something.
And I was just thinking the whole time. I'm like, well, not the whole time because I was also very, very high, uncomfortably high, near the peak.
Uncomfortably?
Yeah, I got to the point where I was like, oh man, like this is too much. Like I want to knock this down like a third of the way. It's just like too much. Like
What were you
Anastasia
feeling?
put on some like action movie, and like the moment it started, I'm like, take this off. Like I feel this is not like not good. I just like lay down. I'm like, you better set something up for me. She's like, okay. So she like did the air mattress and stuff. But I was thinking at times, I'm like, damn, like what could we do for Dr. Ken right now? I'm like, what? Like, should I move? Should I go somewhere else? Like, I feel like us being here is not helping him. Like, we should leave him alone. So we
That's the
kinda
thing,
did
man. There's nothing you could do.
that. Yeah.
You guys did the perfect thing, which is nothing. Don't take me to the hospital. Leave me there to like just get through it.
Mm-hmm.
And the crazy thing, when I woke up the next morning, I was perfectly fine. Like I had no lingering effects.
Wow, dude, I
Nothing,
was
dude.
high the next day. See, maybe you puking made
Yeah.
it you sober up because the next day, bro, I woke up. I'm like, I'm still very high. Like, I was like, I don't know if I can go home right now. And then I kind of
Yeah.
like got myself up. I bet Anastasia could tell because I'm like, I got up. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go. And I just fucking went. I'm like,
We
damn,
were
this is gonna be a
wondering like
journey.
how you're gonna get home.
Yeah. But yeah. I
Do you
just
think
took the
Trevor's gonna
subway.
get lost?
There's no way I was gonna leave that night, dude. I would have fucking ended up in someone's trunk. Like
We were
100%.
joking that you were gonna fall onto the tracks.
That's hilarious. Thanks, guys. You really care about my well-being.
But you got through it, right?
We're
honestly,
over here
it made you
considering
stronger.
bringing you to the goddamn hospital, and you're joking about me falling onto the fucking subway tracks, where I'll
This
be
is the next day,
grinded
though.
into fucking mincemeat.
It was
No,
the next
I
day, so
get it,
everything's
man.
okay.
I understand. I get it. I see how it is.
You're strong though. That's how much faith we had in you to like. get through it. That we're
I'm a
just
big,
like,
strong
fuck it.
man.
We can start joking while he's still high.
Potentially unprofessional pieces of content.
Dr. Mike.
Dr.
man.
Ken?
Sponsored by Dr. Mike.
Sponsored by Dr. Mike. Get his Dr. Mike scrubs on at the
He has his own
website, and you
scrubs?
can put in the. Yeah, he does. He has his own line. You can put in unprofessional in the discount section, and you'll get 0% off.
You have to pay more. Dr.
You have
Mike
to
sends
pay
you a
more, yeah.
lawsuit, class action.
Yeah, they send you a lawsuit because we use his fucking voice in our intro, and we talk about things that he would not be okay with.
Mhm. Let me tell you. Let me tell you some news that infuriated me.
Oh, I'd love to hear it.
There's actually 2 pieces, but I'll say one. So in NYC, there's a new bonus program. So it includes a few things. So employees have a base salary less than $125,000. Great, that's residents. They should get it. If you worked at the same hospital for 6 months straight between 2021 and 2024. Perfect. I'm going to go work at the same hospital for 3 years starting in July. So, I qualify. You're eligible for 2 bonuses equaling a total of $3,000. Hell yes, perfect. I'm going to get $3,000 for working for 6 months. And at the disclaimer, residents are not allowed and fellows are not allowed to get this stupid thing.
So it's only
How
for
do you feel
attendings?
about that? It's
only for
attendings,
attendings? Who's it
nurses,
for?
and like
Oh.
PAs, NPs.
Oh wow!
Like
It's
everyone
literally for
except
everyone around
us.
you. It's not even for people
Yeah.
above you. It's literally for everybody
Yeah.
around you, bro.
It's
There needs to
ridiculous,
be a
dude.
union or something. Is crazy.
They're
Residency.
they're
So,
actually
like, I would like to hear a place where you get shit on more. Like, you have more responsibility and have less like reward based on compared to everything around it than residency. Yeah, I would be interested in hearing about that.
so attendings don't get it because they make more than 125,000. A lot of senior nurses don't, because I think some of the nurses are telling me at one of the hospitals I went to that they were making like 150,000, so they wouldn't get it either. But like
So
a lot of
no
people do
one's
qualify for
able
that.
to do this?
Well, a lot of people do.
No
like
one's able to do
if
this?
if you're a nurse starting out, you're making like 90,000 or something, so you'd be getting it. Basically, like all the people that don't get paid, as well as like senior nurses, will be getting it. It's ridiculous.
Okay.
I think if you go to any
Yeah, I
hospital,
guess
like who's doing the most work?
Man, that's hard to
I
say.
don't know, bro.
What would you say?
It's
Yeah,
the
that's a
residents,
hard
dude.
question
Are
to
you kidding
answer
me?
because. Oh, okay. I get what you're saying. You're right. It's 100,000,000% the residents. But I guess I was thinking like between attendings and like nurses. It's like that's a tough question because like
Yeah.
I guess it's nurses. They're physically doing the
CEO.
most things, but like, yeah, the CEO, dude, fucking sweat and tears into that shit. No, yeah, that's wild. And it's 100,000,000% the residents.
Yeah,
Residents
it's
go off,
ridiculous,
bro.
honestly.
Especially in New York. I don't know about other places, but New York, dude, it's. Imagine if the residents just like all disappeared one day. It would be chaos.
Man,
The whole system
the
would have to
attendings,
change. It'd
like
be fucking crazy.
yeah, they think they can do the thing by themselves, but like each attending has 3 residents under them, so you're doing the work
There's no fucking
of
way.
basically 3 people, which is not possible.
There's
man.
no
It
fucking
already
way.
takes
No,
them
there's
like
no fucking
all
way.
day to do this. Yeah.
There's no way.
So,
And it
I don't know,
maybe
I
it'd be
just thought- I was
possible if
really
you, like
pissed about
tripled
that.
the nurses. Yeah.
Even then,
that's,
I don't think
that's
it's
wild.
possible. Yeah. And the
Bro,
second
there
thing that I
definitely-
have,
There's gonna just be more of those things happening for us.
I know.
was the
Actually, one
second?
program has unionized. The University of Vermont. They have a union. It just formed. I was like, for 80% of the people voted for and like 20 against, and now they started like what is it called when they like bargaining or something, collective action. I don't know, collective bargaining, with the healthcare system, and they're trying to get raises and reduced work hours. That's what we need in New York. We need like a union with all the residents in New York. And the
Yeah,
second
I
thing,
guess it's just gonna
this
start
thing is
somewhere.
like, yeah. The other thing was, now New York recently passed a bill that NPs, nurse practitioners, can practice independently. Like before, you had to like work with an attending and for them to like basically check your work. And now it's that they can just do everything, prescribe medications, make all the decisions by themselves.
How do you feel about that?
How do you feel about that?
I don't
I
really know.
have a
'cause,
story,
like, Let's say they had enough training. Like let's say it's almost exactly the same amount as medical school. Then I don't know. That seems fine to me. I don't know. It's like encroaching on our shit, but who am I to say that that's not okay? So I don't know what training they go through and stuff. So yeah.
So the best example I have is that when I was in my cardiology rotation, I was working with this attending, and he had an NP that was working for him, and she got an EKG. She didn't know what was on it.
No. Wait,
I
this was
know.
cardiology?
And-
So this was a cardiology
Yeah,
nurse practitioner?
cardiology.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
That's
fucking
the
unacceptable.
one thing that you're supposed to know in cardiology. The most basic thing.
That's literally
every
how
patient
we
that comes to-
gauge what's your heart is doing.
Yeah. Every patient gets one. And it's so surprising that they didn't know. So I don't know.
Maybe
My
they were
dad also
new? I
hates
don't
it.
know.
It's definitely not. She was like 50, so I really doubt she's new. My dad oftentimes gets like referrals from NPs, and he's like, I always ignore them whenever I get referrals because they never know anything about psychiatry. My sister gets them too, and she's like, they never fill out the forms right. They always misdiagnose, and it's not even worth it to like have referrals from them. It's better if they just go to the hospital and then someone sees them and just says what's going on rather than the NP.
Yeah, a thing about referrals that's funny is like now that we have an actual opinion that kind of matters, it's crazy. Like people will ask your opinion on something, right? And then you suddenly get worried because you're like, oh no, like I cannot give the wrong thing. And also like I can't give specific advice on this because now they're going to use it. You know what I mean? For instance, my mom and my sister are like having beef or something, whatever. And so she asked me, my mom asked me like about it, right? In a general way. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like, I better preface this severely. I'm like, in a very general sense, if you told me about a person like this and I had a gun to my head and I couldn't see the patient, do a physical exam, talk with them myself, and I only heard this and I had to make a decision, this is what I would say in general. And then I like gave my thing.
Yeah.
And then I received a call several days later. You said this very specific thing about me, and you said that I should be on medication for this. I'm like, oh no. Like now I can never talk to anybody about anything. Like I prefaced it so hard. So yeah, we're just like damned if you do, damned if you don't at this point, I think.
I love how your mom is going to your sister and being like, "What Dr. Trevor told me this is what you have."
Yeah, dude. Yeah. So funny.
Just taking
Like,
taking
thanks,
your
Mom.
word as law.
Fucking toss me right under the fucking bus.
Yeah,
Oh man.
that's hilarious. But it's good that she trusts you so much.
Yeah, I guess that is good. I don't know if that's the takeaway, man. I don't know, bro.
She takes your word as like the standard. This is what's going on.
This is what's up. Yeah. So sometimes I like write notes for the podcast, right? I'll be like, oh, we should definitely talk about this. Or oh, we should definitely talk about that. Well, it's like a list of like 8 just like super deep things. Like, do you feel like you're fulfilling your responsibilities of this and that? And it's like a bunch of those. And then it just is like, I heard my neighbor having sex and realized I was humming "Staying Alive" to the beat last night. Like that was the note. So it's kind of all over.
I don't know if I have much to contribute to that second one. I guess.
Not lately though, huh?
Earplugs.
Poor Dr. Ken. If there's any single ladies out there in Canada, hit us up. Dr. Ken is single.
I guess New
ready
York.
to
I'm moving
schmingle.
back soon.
Oh, that's true.
No,
New
man,
York.
I
Yeah,
think-
for the future ones. One off, then
Yeah.
Canada.
So I wanted to follow up. You know, you're typically a person who's like, you gotta work, dude. You know, I can't do it as well as you. Can you do it? This
What?
is what you have to do. This.
Yo, I'm sick
The
of
hand thing
talking
that you
about
do.
it being next year, next time. Like, we got to put in the effort now. Let's get this shit. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
So talk to me. What?
So what are you up to now that you don't have anything to do?
So, all right. Very, very good transition here, Dr. Ken. I have been going off. I've been editing this goddamn video, and I'm just like taking it to the next fucking level, bro. Like, I was like, at first I was like, look, I'm gonna shoot this footage with a buddy. I'm just gonna cut out shitty parts and then just put it online, right? It went from that to like,
It's not good enough.
all right, I better look up how to do this transition to this kind of a scene and then like zoom in on this person's face and have it followed by the camera so that it like accentuates this part. And then I do a sound effect on it. So now I'm like layering like 8 things onto this one little bit of video. And then like I'll adjust another part of the video. And now all that stuff is unorganized because I forgot to lock it. And so it's like, then I'm reorganizing that and like, oh no, I forgot to fucking sync the audio to this part. So now I'm manually syncing waveforms to each other. Bro, it's been crazy. Yeah. I'm like editing a movie worth of shit by myself. And I've never done it before. So I'm just looking up YouTube tutorials. And it's been awesome, honestly, but it's been like crazy. Like I've been putting in fucking almost study hour sessions worth of days, like fucking 8 to 10 hours of just straight editing, bro. I've been going to this tea shop, and it's like whatever, black owned, like it's been great. Everyone there, I don't know why this is important. Why am I saying that it's black? But everyone who works there is black. Everyone who comes in is black except me. And then I'm like in the back. I'm like in there, like doing my thing. And then the girls who work there, like, oh, like they always chat me up and stuff. And they're like the sweetest.
And then they're like talking about their own podcast, like, well, maybe we should start one. I'm like, do it, girls, like it's gonna be great. And then I told them about ours. I'm like, you cannot fucking tell anybody. With that said, probably fucking Google figured out that I am Dr. Trevor about a year ago, and we'll tell NASA or whoever the fuck, and then we'll be fired. And it'll be a pretty sweet ride up until that point. Go ahead.
I think you've been doing editing this for like a month, would you say?
Oh, dude, yeah, for sure. So I shot it 2 months ago, right? But then I had my emergency medicine rotation, so whatever, that's fine. But then I was like editing little bits at times during that. But really, I've only been editing it for the past like 20 days, I'd say. But bro, I've been going off for 20 days, and so that's significant. And it's just been straight. And with that said, like I shot it, and then after the fact, I was like, crap, what is this even about? So I've literally wrote a script after. I've like been organizing it to that. I've shot other footage to transition things in together. Like, oh man, bro, it's been something. I'm excited though, man. Like, I hope you could tell. Like, I'm pumped to put this shit out. And I've been putting a lot of effort into it. So I think it'll make you laugh.
And how long is the video in total?
It'll end up being like 15 minutes.
15? I thought it was like 2 minutes.
No. It's a lot more than that. Yeah. I thought like there's only like little bits in here that I can use, but there's a ton when you consider that like you can add different sounds and like different shit like that. Like before, I wouldn't have. There was a part where I'm smoking a marijuana cigarette and I'm like put it in my mouth, right, and then I like accidentally drop it. Well, it's not that funny alone, right? But when I add like a boink when it hits the fucking ground, and it makes me just look like a fucking idiot, and it's funny. You know what I mean? So then it's like, okay, and then I just like have been messing around with all that stuff, and I've been also like spending a ton of time watching other videos of like people who like kill it, and so I'm like, all right, I'm trying to take ideas from them. Like, what am I going to do for this? What am I going to do for that? Oh, why is this so funny here? And so I'm like, oh, that's why. And then I'm like been incorporating that. So, a lot of this could have been avoided if I planned shit out beforehand, but I didn't know any of this before because it's my first like real video I've made. So, I'm pretty stoked.
Yeah. No, that's important because I think like it's so easy to go wrong. You spend so much time filming this shit.
Easily, yeah.
And
it easily could. I could end up with fucking 20 views, bro. Like, I could put all this effort in there and get nothing. And it's like totally in reality. And it just kind of is what it is. And you have to, I think it's important to accept that beforehand when you're doing this shit. Because if you are like in your head and it's like motivating you to do it based on the fact that you're convinced you're going to get a ton of views or something, or get a lot of reward for this, whatever it is, like once you fucking do it and you don't get that reward, bro, you're going to be crushed. You know what I mean? So if you accept it beforehand, it's a double-edged sword though, because if you accept it beforehand, then it make it fucking nothing. You're going to be less motivated to make it because you're like, well, what if it just fucking flops, But if you have it in you and you're like, no, I really want this, then it's the perfect concoction because it's like, I'm gonna fucking get this done no matter what, even if it flops. I'm gonna make something I'm proud of. But I have the encouragement from like myself or whatever to fucking get it done. So yeah.
It's not easy these days because like everyone's trying to go viral, so you're just releasing this into the masses.
Oh, dude, everybody,
and, like,
right.
Everyone's begging for attention, and you're just like another person out there trying to get some views.
Yeah, and then you just have to differentiate like who. So there's so many people who are super popular, but and you're like, you want to take from their content and be like, oh, as long as I do something similar to this, or like I can take from what they do and implement in my own thing. But you can't because they got into the game before it became so competitive. So now that it's so competitive, like they're already on top with tons of views and stuff. Like you can't do a Joe Rogan thing where you just talk about whatever. Because it's just too like all over the place. Like you can, but it's way fucking harder. You need to like niche the fuck down. So yeah. But my point is like if you got in before, you have way more freewheeling and dealing to do whatever. People will give you way more leeway because you already have a market. But if you're just getting in now, I mean, you have to plan shit out, niche down everything. So
Yeah. Do you ever wish you were like doing this back in the old days of YouTube, where it was super easy to get discovered?
Oh, of course, yeah, of course. But I had like so many things had to have happened for me to even like gain interest in wanting to do it, have the discipline to do something like this, like all of that. So it just wasn't gonna happen. I mean, like hearing stories about, for instance, like Mr. Beast or Moist Critical, like everything was perfect for them to get into YouTube at a super young age when it was just before it popped off. You know what I mean? Like they're like 11 years old. They're like, fuck it, I'm gonna put some random YouTube video out about video games, and it's just the most garbage thing ever, but it gets like 30,000 views. Bro, I've put in like 15 hours into a video or more than that, submitted it and gotten 8 views on it. You know what I mean? So it's like, and I'm like, I thought it was good by the time I submitted it, and it was like based on popular topics, things that people look up and stuff, and I still got shit on. So it's like, it's just a different world. But yeah, of course they do. Of course I do, but I just didn't.
My highest viewed YouTube video has more views than your highest viewed. I have 200 videos of me climbing a tree on YouTube. Yeah.
No, are you shitting me? You have 200 videos of you climbing a tree?
No, views, videos too.
Oh,
200 different trees, or the same tree 200 times.
yeah. It's like, this is me
You gotta
climbing
get
a poplar. Enjoy. Yeah, it has like 8,000
Some
views.
aspens
this
today.
Is me climbing an ash. Yeah. It has just like fucking 3 million views. People are really big fans of that.
Biggest
ash
challenge: the California redwood.
Oh, bro, I'm excited for that video. I know you're gonna release it eventually. On the comments, everyone's just clamoring for it.
You gotta have more views than that. Everyone's shitting on
Oh,
me in the
dude,
comments.
if I don't get 200 views, I will cry. I will definitely cry. I will reconsider everything.
Friends and
damn,
family.
that's
at
great.
least.
You
need,
actually
like,
you have a video of you climbing a tree, and it has 200 views.
Yeah, is that a lot?
That's amazing. I mean, not really.
The title is
it's not
misleading.
true. I have a YouTube video that has more than 200 views.
Okay.
It's just a clip from our podcast. Actually, it has over 1,000.
Oh, really?
It's
Whoa. I'm famous. Damn, that counts as mine too.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, okay, sounds good. We're a squad, but it's titled "How to Get Xanax."
And am I the one saying how to get Xanax, or are you?
Yes, you are.
I'm trying to get some more while I'm at home. It's been a good experience. Yeah.
Yeah, how's it been
Actually, it's been weird here, So the other day, someone asked me. I was talking to this girl, like we're waiting outside a building, and the building hadn't opened yet. I was helping my friend with a research project, and this is not Xanax related, by the way. But we were just talking, and she's like, "Yeah, I'm a master's student, blah blah blah," telling me about her research, and she's like, "What do you do?" And there was like a pause, and I was like, "What do I say? Do I say I'm a medical student? I haven't started residency. Do I say I'm a doctor?
And then
do
you
I
just
say I'm a
blurt it
resident?"
out. You're like, I jack off sometimes.
I'm in between things. No, I was like, I'm a doctor. I got to say it for the first time. And she was like so impressed. She's like, wow, like that's awesome. Like, where do you work? Blah, blah, blah. So I told her, and like, dude, she was already friendly, but like, people just like treat you different when you say that.
People treat
crazy.
you different at the tea shop I've been going to. The moment I said, I was like, because I was trying to like play out. I'm like, I don't want to fucking say I'm a doctor and then like fucking puff out my chest. I was just like, I'm in medicine, and then they like are like leaning in like, okay, and then I'm like, I am applying to residency, and they're like, oh, just everyone it's like crazy, which I guess that's kind of, I mean, let's be honest, that's part of the reason we're all fucking doing this. It's like for that, but it's like once it's like actually happening, you're just like, oh shit, like it's fucking the real deal. Apparently on like Tinder, the stats for someone was just put whatever, that they were like a nurse practitioner or like a nurse or whatever, and then once they switch it to doctor, it just like not even, it's like night and day.
Have you made that leap yet?
You know what? I just did. I had, even though I'm like only in New York for like a couple weeks, I'm like, I guess I'm making this. I don't know why. So then I made a bunch of accounts or whatever. and I've been doing it, but then I just stopped because I'm like, what am I gonna do? I have like a week and a half. Like I'm just gonna like hook up, and I don't know. I don't even want to do that. But anyway,
I think it's fair to say at this point that you're a doctor. I think you earned it. You know, you finished your degree.
I mean, I got my
Should say it, dude.
motherfucking D. There's a
Yeah,
part in that
I think
video where I'm literally dancing and a guy's shouting out, "Get your MD, get your MD." So I think that means I made it.
Don't spoil the video, bro.
Dude, I'm stoked for you to watch this shit. Here's the
I
thing.
wanna be
And here's the
surprised.
thing. And I put so much effort into this shit that, you know, of course I wanted to do very well, but like just to like get your guys' reactions from it, like my good friends and then my brothers and stuff, like I'm just excited. Like that's why I'm very excited.
How about just don't release it until like you get some feedback, and then maybe I can like, if there's any raunchy parts, you can like take those out, you know, just in case.
What do you mean?
If there's anything, you know, too inappropriate, maybe I can convince you to take them out.
Well, the main part where I'm like, I don't think I should do that is we filmed me buying weed, and I'm like, and I get so many good reactions from these guys who I'm buying weed from. They're just so strange, and I'm like, but so much of it involves them, you know, like their face, and so like all the reactions and shit. I'm like, fuck, I have to blur their faces though. Like they don't want, like there's 100% chance that if this did well, that they would be told about it and be like, yo, take that shit down. I don't want my face selling weed onto this video, you know? So that's
that's
true.
true.
So I'm gonna have to blur them, and it's gonna take away from it. But it just kind of is what it is. So I am censoring myself to some extent, there, Dr. Ken. But
I'm really sad to watch it. Honestly, I'm really excited to watch
good.
it.
I'm glad. I'm glad, man.
Yeah.
It's so good time. And the more I work on it, the more I realize how like much footage you can get just from doing crazy shit in a park for like 2 hours. Like, oh my god, here's another bit. Like, for instance, I'm talking to this girl for like 8 minutes. It can't be that much. Maybe 4 minutes. And there just ended up being so much material I could use. Even parts where I was like, it's just this weird moment where she's just kind of looking at me like, what are we doing right now? Like, that's what everyone's thinking. It's the best part of the whole fucking thing. It's just, you just
How do I get
feel
out
it.
of
You're
this
like,
conversation?
Oh my God, this is so weird. Kind of. And it's like, it's just beautiful. And like, that made me think of the Eric Andre show where he was like, bro, there was part, like, they did a bit where he just goes, bird up, it's the worst show on television, and he's just wearing a green suit and like has a parrot on his shoulder. It makes no fucking sense. It's one of the best bits he does though, and everyone loves it. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't know. You kind of don't know what's gonna hit too, and this one won't. I'll get 83 views.
I think everything Eric Andre does is amazing, but I think like, sensationalism like does a lot, dude. Like, if it's so out there, like I remember one of my favorite videos back from you know, undergrad that I used to like die over. It's called Campus Tooting. Have you heard of it?
I've not heard of it. It sounds something right up your alley though.
It has like 100 million views probably. I don't remember how it is, but like I made all my friends watch it. It's just this guy going around campus and just farting with different, you know, in different places, and like he goes in an elevator at one point and farts.
And there's a
It's just
reason.
so funny.
There's a reason I went out and did this shit and to see people's reactions to stuff. Like the man on the street thing gets tons of views. Like some of the most mediocre shit I've seen on YouTube, but it gets so many views because it's just people's like genuine reactions on the street, even though it's just like the dumbest question. You know what I mean?
No
so
one
like,
can do it. That's the thing.
Like, I could do that. Then. What do you mean?
I think like if I had to, you know, do that, I don't think I could do that in like 100 years, honestly. Like even like some of my most outgoing friends.
Courage.
Yeah, even like my most outgoing friends wouldn't do that. Like I don't know many people that are capable of doing that.
Right, dude. I mean, and one of the reasons that I'm able to transition to it pretty easily is that I have chopped my dick off, so I am becoming a woman, and that'll be, you know what I mean? No. Yeah,
interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah, just not keep nodding. Don't say anything. No, it's easy for me because of, I mean, I'm gonna be honest, like doing the pickup stuff early on, like it just makes it so much easier. Like I can walk up to fucking anybody. If someone says, "Hey, go talk to that person," it could be some, just like the most gut wrenching. Like, why would I do that thing ever? And like I can just do it. You know what I mean? What's that show you like? It's fucking called Impractical Jokers.
Impractical Jokers. Oh my god, dude.
Yeah, like I would crush on that shit. Whereas I think the average person wouldn't be able to do a single one of those things.
Yeah. I think like that, some of the stuff that they do is just crazy. And watching the show is hilarious, but I think like 99% of the human population couldn't do what they do. Like maybe not that severe, but it's just so
totally
crazy.
Right. No, I honestly think that 99% of the American population at least couldn't do that. Couldn't do it because, dude, people cite dying with less of a fear than public speaking, as far as like their greatest fears in life. I mean, dude, now you tell somebody, hey, go up and touch this person's crotch or like whatever, some crazy shit that they do, or let's knock it down, dude. How about just go up to this person you think is cute, whoever you find the cutest on this street, and you have to go up to them, say, hey, I think you're cute, and then try to start a normal conversation. Bro, people won't be able to go up to that person. It's just they're just not gonna be able to do it. And
I can do that first part. I can say I think you're cute, and then I would freeze up, and I wouldn't know what to say.
And then you freeze.
That.
Yeah, bro. I used to do that. I used to literally just go up to girls and be like, "Hey, I just thought you're cute. I just wanted to say hi." They go, "Oh, okay, hi," and then it's just like, "Okay, bye." It's like, fuck, no.
So what do you want to talk about now? Do you want to talk about how?
So I asked them. Yeah, is there any like subjects that you think are interesting that you would like to,
Yeah.
It's funny. My most recent one, I do it every once in a while just to see, be like, do I still got it? Like, can I still pull? Like, do I still have the courage if I'm gonna just go up and do this shit? And I did it the other day, and I was like walking outside. I just go on like random walks and listen to like Audible and like listen. Sponsored by Audible, so guys, put in unprofessional on the app, and you'll get 20% off. No, and I like listen to audiobooks or whatever. But then if I see a cute girl, pop a headphone out. Hey, what's up, baby? And I immediately step outside and I like see one. I'm like, oh shit, let's go. And he's like hurrying toward the subway, and I like stop because I like try to stop my feet in front of them because they're walking the other way toward me. And I'm like, what did I say? Hey, I just said hey to like really get her attention to make her like be like that. And she kind of did, but then it was like did the motion like, hi, like I'm in a hurry, like I'm moving quickly, and I'm like, I like grabbed her, I kind of like grabbed her arm, not like violently, but I was just like, hey,
you
like,
yanked it,
like as in like I want to talk to you. Yeah, I fucking pulled.
I want to talk to you.
So that her like cartoon, her jacket flew off. No, and she's like, you don't have to grab my arm, and I'm like, okay, and then she like keeps walking, kind of, and I'm like. Okay, so first of all, let's break this down.
Weird.
First of all, most people wouldn't have been able to do the first part, right? To even say hi to this girl who they think is cute.
100%.
This is a cute girl. Second, now like everyone is gonna tune out and be like, "There's no fucking way I'm gonna pursue this any longer," right? I mean, I've literally like essentially assaulted this girl. I mean, not really, but like, and she's walking away from me. Like everyone's gucking out. Then I'm like, nah. Nope, not yet. So I walk with her, and I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'll follow you for a bit. She's like, I have to take the subway. I'm like, okay, well, I just thought you're cute. Like, I just wanted to say hi. And she's like, okay. And she's like, okay, like that's sweet or whatever. I don't know what she said. I'm like, keep walking. The subway's right there.
Away
so we're literally going down the steps now. Yeah, I'm going into a subway that I'm not taking, and so I'm like, I'm not gonna follow you past like the the turnstile. She's
just jump the turnstile.
Like, gives a giggle or whatever. Yeah, I'd be like, yeah, jump the turnstile. So yeah, I was wondering about this. Like, oh, that's cool that you're getting dinner. I'm like fucking ducking under. No, and we're like getting to the turn. We're walking down the last steps, and I'm like. Look, do you want to exchange numbers? I just like threw it out there. And then, because, hey, you lose 100% of the sales that you never make the close to. So I always throw out
Sure.
of clothes, even if it's like not a chance, or most of the time I do. And she's like, maybe, we'll see. And then like got her number. And she's like, they always ask, do you have an Insta? Because they don't want to be like stalked, because if you have their phone number, they can't like cancel it. They can't get rid of you. But then I'm like, I always say I don't have an Insta because I just want to text somebody. Like I also don't have an Instagram. But then she's like, oh, like you don't have an Insta? And like, she's like, can you please not be like a weirdo? And I'm like, I promise I will not be weird. She's like, okay.
The evidence so far is to the contrary.
Yeah, bro. And I would think that too. I'm like, anyone who does any of these things is fucking insane. But apparently it works and they don't think it's crazy. But anyway, so yeah, long story short, we've been texting, but yeah. Yeah.
I'm glad it worked out.
That's my story.
I thought after the arm yank, you would have been like, all right. And she walked away, and I was like, all right, see you later. But following her all the way down, jumping the turnstile, getting
Pursuit,
tackled by
bro.
police, it's a lot.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, and
Running away from the
shot
cops.
The subway up, after I shot the subway up, and they were like,
That was you?
People would think like, look, that's it, right? Like we're gonna stop there, and I'm like, nope, not yet. We're not done yet. And
Man, that was on the news.
flew
The guy
home.
that shot the subway up.
Yeah, I heard about it after from people being like, "Are you okay?" But
They
yes,
said it was
I
an
am.
African American, so you should probably turn yourself in, bro. You gotta wait, but the right thing to do is turn yourself in.
I've heard that a lot, but I am Caucasian.
Yeah.
I've established this on multiple episodes, and I know, my voice, everything about me, my features say, look, this guy's African American,
Yeah.
but it's not true. I am a white man. Well, soon to be a white woman.
I'm convinced you don't deserve to be in prison. Don't confess. Let
I
the
don't
other guy
deserve to
take
be
the
in
fall.
prison?
Yeah.
How many people died? Did anyone die? I honestly don't know any news about this.
I don't think anyone died. I think 16 people were shot. 5 were in
Holy
critical
shit.
condition.
That's
The funny
crazy.
thing?
Imagine being the hospital that's right there.
Yeah, you know what hospital was right there?
No, what was? No way. Okay, dude,
Yeah.
we have to fucking edit this now, right?
I know.
That's
I had
crazy. Okay,
I had to
got it.
say, I was telling everyone that they all went with gunshot wounds to the ED at my future hospital.
Crazy, bro.
And yeah, dude. And all those residents, I would be one of the people if it was a few months later, taking care of these people. Insane, dude.
Oh, bro, that's 100% going on your personal statement from now on. If you're involved in that, a billion percent. Oh yeah, it reminds me of the time when I had to show great courage after the subway shooting of 2022. And, you know what I mean? You would just go off. Yeah,
I'm
wow,
surprised you
that's
haven't heard
fucking
anything
crazy.
of it. Even in Canada, Saskatchewan, in the gym, they were playing that all day.
Bro, I just
on
tune
the
out,
news.
man. If you just people think that it's all this information is going to get in my head anyway. You cannot learn anything every day if you want. If you work hard enough, you could not learn any news about anything at all. And that's what
why
I do.
you're the
'cause
hardest
I don't
worker
like
I
it.
know.
That's why I'm the hardest worker. And that's why you got to fucking give all you have every day. Never stop quitting. Never quit not stopping. And you fucking just go. You know what I mean?
Exactly. You said it so beautifully. The subway ridership has been decreasing consistently. And before it was
Good.
train was late, train always had homeless people, train always was dirty as hell, and now train has shootings. Why would anyone want to pay to use this shit?
That fucking sprinkles on top, baby. That little cherry.
Yeah.
Give me some
Yeah.
shootings. Dude, I could get some great footage from that. I could
Yeah,
make a great
I think-
YouTube video.
I think next one, go onto the subway with a gun and see what happens. Might be too soon for that.
Man.
Wait a couple months and then do it.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
what's,
it's too soon to kill people on the subway.
yeah, what's your plan after these last couple of weeks?
Oh yeah, so I'm gonna be done with this sauna of an Airbnb, and then I'm going to my hometown, and I'm gonna be chilling there, and it should be good. And I'm gonna do a hockey league with my bro. We've already talked about it.
Whoa.
I'm gonna live with him. Yeah, dude, I'm fucking
Back to the golden
stokey
days.
stoked. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The old men's league, baby. Chug some beers before you play.
Old men's
Well,
league?
I mean, old men's league's the same thing. It's people over whatever. You know, I mean, you could be any age. You could be 18, but the people who play in it are, you know, past playing in high school or in an organized fashion, so they're doing it, you know, in this way. But
I can imagine you at the rink hanging out with the hockey players, being like, "Hey, babe, I used to play in this when I was in high school."
Oh, dude, yeah, reminiscing and being like, "Yeah, I used to be able to fucking slap shot and break the fucking glass behind the board, baby." And she's
There's my picture on the wall.
I used to be
Class
able
of
to throw this football over them mountains.
Class of 2013, 9 years ago. How old were you 9 years ago?
Class of 2013, back with the boys, fucking hitting that shit top titty, throwing the biscuit around. You know what's up.
And then what happened to your plan of going to Africa or like South America?
Oh, yeah, that's right. I'm not gonna do that because I don't want to.
You're going to Ukraine now, right?
Yeah. Dude, I actually kind of wanted to for a moment there. I was like, damn, that would be kind of awesome. Like, in like a war situation. But my mom's like, I don't want you to die. And I'm like,
tell her you're going to Africa and go to Ukraine instead.
Jesus. Or I could just go and just do whatever I want. Like, I don't have to tell her.
True. She would
I'm a
be
grown
worried.
man. But yeah, I'm gonna go back to my home and play some hockey, and it'll be sweet.
Besides
and
that.
I looked up my stats from the one season I have done it before. Bro, I went off, son. I was the only player to score 5 goals on my team and fight somebody on the ice. So there's a record for you.
That's so funny. I need to just get your hockey card.
Yeah, you probably should. It'll be worth nothing one day.
Yeah.
What else am I gonna do? I mean, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna take step 3 when I'm over there. I'll study for it and take it, and I might try to get get some more footage of like a similar thing, like another doctor on the street type video before I leave, because then, you know, I kind of have to do it when I'm in New York. So I'll do it just in case. If I don't end up making the video, then whatever, but I probably will. But yeah, if I don't get it now, then I won't be able to get it in my home. So
yeah.
Yeah.
And what happened? Are you volunteering or anything?
No, I'll just so I'm gonna do the Masters of Public Health, and then I'll scribe if I want, so I can like see patients and like be in the emergency room and stuff like that. And I guess that makes money too, but fucking whatever, you know. But yeah, I guess that's kind of what I'll be doing. I won't be a sexy secretary like yourself, but
yeah, only for a little
I'll take it.
You know, there was actually a profile done on this guy from SGU. He graduated in 2013, so 9 years ago. Okay. And after that, he did a surgery residency, which he completed. And then he did a plastic surgery fellowship, which he completed. And now he's currently in an aesthetics fellowship. So this guy's been in residency for 9 years.
Stop going to school. Stop going to school.
He doesn't want to make money.
Dude, why? Why do any of that to yourself? I don't want to do a fellowship, let alone fucking 2 of them.
I don't want to spend like 3 years on a cardio fellowship. I don't even want to do residency, honestly. I just wish I could go straight into like a
dude. Yeah, I don't even want to fucking be I don't even want to do some of the things a doctor does. So
at like some level, I think like in residency, your life is on hold. You know, even if even if you finish one residency and you start another.
Especially like your first year. I mean, like these emergency medicine residents. I mean, you're working every fucking day for like 12 hours. Like there's nothing that can transpire elsewhere. Like anytime you have off, you're just like hyperventilating in your bed, like trying to relax. Like that's insane.
And it just makes no sense to me that this guy put his life on hold for all these years just to do what he loves. You know, it's like I get it. Like I actually
when you
don't
put it
get
that
it.
way, it sounds wonderful, but
I actually don't get it because I don't see myself like wanting something so much that I put my life on hold for like 10 years.
It's kind of dope. If he genuinely wants it that bad and like wants these things, then it's the sickest thing ever. I mean, I feel like that's might not be the case, and he's just like, you know, like, oh, I guess I'll do one more thing. I don't know.
My attending told me to. My program director told me I got to do this, so I want to do it. Like
that is more likely to be the case than him just being a badass, honestly. So
yeah, but it's just like, you know, he's putting his life on hold for so long, like medical school, which is already 4 years.
If here's the thing, if he knew all the different enjoyments and experiences and all these different things he could have truly, like in his heart, knew all of them in the world that he could experience, there's no way he would do any of this. There's no.
Yeah.
We probably wouldn't even do any of the stuff that we're doing. Like,
Dude, if
let
I knew
alone
everything-
fucking triple down on it.
My dad was saying, like, I went into psychiatry because, quality of life was really good. I was like, like, that's great, but I'd rather just do nothing and get money, Like, being a doctor is great and all, but I'd rather do nothing, I just want to relax, travel, spend my life doing what I enjoy.
Yeah, it's tough. Like, anyone who does I became a doctor and then I'm gonna just do the thing that's the easiest. It's like, why did you become a doctor then? You could have done some type of business thing, made way more money and done less. Like, I never quite got that. I guess maybe they're so wrapped in it now that they're like, well, I guess I'll just continue with this thing, or I don't know. What are your thoughts on that? Because I think it's just so silly.
I think, like, people always say that you can make a lot of money doing other things, but, like, give me some examples. Like, I don't think you can do
I think you have to. Okay, you're right. I mean, you have to be bold and do something else. So, like, if you're bold and, like, whatever, and you want to do some kind of startup or whatever thing, and you're willing to stick through that hard times and stuff, then you're way more willing to make more money. Like,
yeah, like, you could
100%.
do things like if you start a business or something, I could see that happening. But, like, if you're an employee, like, I really don't see you making as much money as, like, unattending.
Yeah,
so
I
think
suppose.
there's no really career that, like, guarantees
there's definitely YouTube videos out where, like, it compares all the debt that we get into combined with all the money we make, and then, like, going into versus going into some type of normal business position, and they make way more as a business person. Or I think there's even videos of them, like, taking someone being a server or like a waiter, from whatever, like 16 years old or like 15, and then just, like, going over time and then doing it to, like, a family physician, and I think the numbers weren't, like, crazy different as far as, like, the total amount they made, including investing and stuff.
But so just because of that, like, I think attendings, you have the security, wherever you go, you can go anywhere in the world, you'll have a job. Like, some of these, like, finance jobs, you have to go to the bigger cities to get, like, the high paying jobs. And even then, like, your career is on the whim of your boss, if he decides to fire you or not. So I think that's what the big draw is for a lot of people. And I get it, like, that's a lot of the reason why I went in, because it's so stable and, like, you're not replaceable. A lot of jobs you can replace with other things, but, like, no one can.
We have a lot of security for our job, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Even if you have, like, for instance, like, some kind of YouTube channel and, like, podcast where you just, like, incriminate yourself, like, consistently, even then, and it, like, gets out to, like, all these different media outlets, and you're on the news and everything, even then you'll be able to probably get a job in bumfuck nowhere. Like, it's real secure, bro.
And, with such a shortage, like, even if, dude, I don't want to, like, foreshadow anything, but, like, there's so many, like, people that have, lawsuits against them or, like, did some fucked up shit in their practice. But even then, you can just go to any other state that you want, and start working. Like, there was this neurosurgeon who, like, killed 20-some patients, and he started working, like, in a different state. Like, he was in Texas, killed a bunch of patients, and moved to another state. There's a documentary on him called Dr. Death, but, like, even then, like, he can get a job anywhere because neurosurgery is just so desired,
Was he purposely killing people, or he just sucked at his job?
He just sucked at his job. And he was high for a lot of it, apparently.
Oh, wow.
You should watch the documentary. It's really
good.
Apparently
there's a Netflix documentary on a insemination doctor who used his own cum.
What else would you use?
Maybe the people who supplied their jizz for you, bro. But apparently, like, the whole neighborhood, like, all these different children are fucking from the same father. It's,
yeah,
like,
I think
so, like, they could be dating each other and shit, and it's like they wouldn't even know. It's so insane.
All their kids come out with, like, 3 eyes.
Dude, they all have, like, blonde hair and blue eyes. But no, dude, it reminds me of make sure I'm gonna write it down, but of this story about from the last hospital I was at, where this resident was selling tons of cocaine. But I'll talk about it next time since we're out of time. But yeah, it's pretty great. And then the residents were like, just being totally open about it to me, and it was just so fucking funny. But anyway, that's all the time we got, and I'll start the fucking outro music. But Anything you want to?
You know-
What wise words do you have to end it on, Dr. Ken?
Don't get fat, because like, you know, I'm I came home and haven't seen anyone for 2 years, and all my friends are gaining weight. All the people I don't like have gained weight, and it feels so good to be the only skinny guy left. And they're not even old, bro. They're all younger than me.
Really?
My nemesis,
Don't
I
get
saw
fat,
him
guys.
yesterday.